Incoming customer detected.
Keep your eyes open, boys.
We need to have a serious talk.
Well, hello there, all my friends, fellows, fans, and dear hearts out there. Welcome once again to Blind Dad Does. My name is Ira, and I hope that you're having a very good day. A very good day indeed. I'm trying to get my sound system to work here correctly, and it's like being a pain in the butt for me. There we go. Now we got things going. Okay, so anyways, we are back once again. Well, doing a little bit of Fallout 76, doing a little bit of chatting, doing a little bit of whatever happens to come to everybody's mind. Turn that down, I guess, just a little bit. Okay, so there we go. I need to turn the webcam back on. There we go. So as you can see, we are currently within Fallout 76, but that's not going to be kind of my primary focus tonight. I'm just here to gab with y'all, to have a little bit of fun, and I figured while I'm doing things in Fallout 76, I may as well go ahead and broadcast it out as it stands because, well, that's what's fun, right? So give me just a brief moment here while I try to get myself a little bit organized. Yeah, things are a little bit weird today. A little bit weird.
A little bit weird. Indeed.
So hopefully everybody out there is having a good night. So anyways, I had an art stream earlier tonight. It went pretty well. I think that I'm pleased with how things started to come out. I haven't completed it quite yet, but I'm not too dissatisfied with it. I need to make sure that I'm getting things tagged correctly because that is very important when it comes to the YouTube stuff, right? Yes, it is indeed. And I didn't give myself enough time to do it before the stream decided to start. Go figure. That was kind of dumb of me, wasn't it? But that happens. That happens. Yeah, there we go. I think that's the correct one that I need to use. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube stuff lately. I have been on YouTube for many years now. Not on many years. And I've had, over the years, I've built up a lot of subscribers. I've built up a lot of people that have come along with me for the journey. And over the past 2 weeks, I have lost about 80 subscribers, and I'm not really doing anything different from what I have been. So I don't know why that might be occurring. If someone could explain that to me, that would be really good. Maybe we should have like a thing for YouTube where somebody unsubscribes to you or something like that. Have an exit survey. What was it that pissed you off enough that you had to walk away from this person? And what's happening that like literally 80 people in the past week actually have decided to say, you know what, screw this guy, I'm done with him. It's a little confusing. It's a little heartbreaking. It's a little all kinds of things, but that's okay. I'll deal with it. I think I have everything set up ready to go now. I think. Anyways, I hope that everybody out there is having a good time, a good day, a good whatever it is that you might be having. It's important. I need to adjust my microphone just a little bit here. I was doing the art stream earlier, and the system, my microphone, my everything basically got a little bit screwy. So because I had to set it up in a different way to be able to get the screen close enough to myself to be able to actually function while doing things. But anyways, as you can see, we are currently within Fallout 76. We do have the scoreboard up so you guys can laugh at my progress that I have done so far. I haven't done a whole lot. I think I'm at 44? 47 right now. So I'm just about halfway through the total scoreboard for this time around, which is cool. It works out. But anyways, in the meantime,
I hope everybody's having a really good day. Yes indeed, a very good day. And if you're not, I'm coming after you. Yes, I'm coming after you.
Well, that's a creepy guy. I don't know what's up with that. Where'd he come from? I don't know. Anyways, so right now we're in my shelter, just kind of logged in here, haven't done anything at all for the daily challenges today. As you can see, here are the daily challenges. We'll be able to get these complete pretty quickly. Kill a creature while in a group, we can do that. Kill a Deathclaw, I know exactly where those spawn. Leveling up, that's always there. Completing an event, that's always there. And completing a daily op, that's always there, as is the gold star. So joining a group with another player, I'll have to go to a public server for that. The weekly, basically I've got everything done except for the daily ops and the leveling up. Daily ops I have been avoiding like the plague because they have just been terrible lately. Just freaking terrible. Like this one. Mole miners, that's okay. The burrows, that's okay. Can only be killed by a melee attack. I'm telling you, the melee attack only ones just suck. They really do. They just suck. You know what? I forgot to turn my chat room on. Is anybody even talking to me? I don't know. I'm just here, right? So let me bring my chat up here, and I'll have to adjust a couple of things. Give me just a brief moment. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm disorganized tonight. It's terrible, but I've had a really, I don't know, wicked pain day today, and I thought I'd go ahead and hop on with you guys to have a little bit of fun, you know, just kind of distract myself away from the painfulness that I've got going on. And of course, my phone does not want to hide from the screen or from the webcam at all. Well, that's okay. I mean, it's in a position where I can see it, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Anyways, let me adjust something here real quick. Going to put some random text into the chat room so that I can have the chat be big enough for me to see it. There we go. There we go. So, let us get ourselves started. The first thing we need to do is jump into a public team. I'm on a private server, but I'll just jump into a public team to have that take effect. We will go ahead and maybe wander over to... well, I guess we can go over to Lakeside, just complete that event. Well, actually, is there any other event that's up? Yeah, actually, Manhunt's up. We can go ahead and do that. If the fast travel bug doesn't kick in. It's been a bit of a frustrating day with this this pain. You know, I woke up with it, and it's been with me ever since. I've taken some ibuprofen, you know, which normally helps at least a little tad, but it hasn't done a whole lot to impact it altogether. So I'm going to go ahead and take another dose of it because I can tell already, me sitting here like this is going to be a little bit painful. So I'll go ahead and do that while I'm loading up here. Pardon me any noise.
Attention, this is the Warden of Eastern Regional Penitentiary. Mad Dog Malone is on the loose. This infamous criminal has slipped his leash. I need all armed citizens to surround Grafton Dam and apprehend this felon. Be sure to take him alive. I intend to make an example of him for all the other prisoners. My marshals will take care of transporting him back here.
There we go. I'm just going to take care of this as fast as I can here. So anyways, I did an art stream earlier tonight, and it turned out pretty good. The piece, I'm not finished with it yet. I might finish it. I might not. I don't know. I might call it complete as it stands and just hope that everybody enjoys it for what it is. But you know, I try to do art as much as I can. I love doing it. I've been doing it for years, and I want people to, you know, really enjoy the things that I can create, such as it is. But I do things in a little bit of a weird way, a little bit of a different way than what people normally do. So I think it turns out okay. Sometimes. Not all the time. Not all the time, but sometimes it does. But it was a good show earlier. It was enjoyable. I was on for about 3 hours doing it, and I don't know how long I'll be on yet tonight. I don't know how long I'll be on yet tonight, but for a little while anyway. For a little while. I will be here with you. I know there's still another one in here. He was firing at me, so where did he go? That ain't you. But that's you. There we go. That'll take care of it. Oh, hi. How you doing? More? Really? Interesting. Okay. They really decided to spawn on me today. Did he go out here, or is he... No, he's upstairs, isn't he? He's upstairs. Yep. And I'm in danger mode. There we go. That'll work. I'm still in danger mode because the Mad Dog is still up, but that completes the event portion of the evening. Alright, so I will head over this way and hit Deathclaw Island so I can at least get one Deathclaw out of the way. And the travel bug kicks in. I wish that they would do something about that. That is really annoying. Like, see? It's like I get hit with it constantly. That's the problem, is like I waste so much time just trying to get the fast travel to actually work, compared to doing things that are fun, right?
And I'm here to have fun. That's right, to have fun.
Anyway, so that's fun too, right? Let me run across over here and take care of this Deathclaw situation. That'll be at least one. I'll have to find out where the others are, but, or I can just hop servers here in a little bit. I'll take a couple of your goodies there. Take the gears, I can use those. Okay, so, let me see. I guess at this point we just need to complete the killing creatures. So the daily op one, I'm definitely going to skip today. That one really sucks. I don't like it when I have to do the melee attack ones. And really, I mean, the only reason why I have to do the daily ops at this point in time anyways is so that I can do the score points. But 250 points or dealing with 15 minutes worth of dumb uplink where I have to kill them with melee attacks, I'm just going to skip the daily op one and just go right into not worrying about it, you know? So I'll take care of the rest, though. In fact, let me see. I still got a little ways to go before leveling up, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and make use of some of the lunch boxes that I have, because I've got just absolute scad tons of lunch boxes. I don't really use them for anything else, just basically for leveling up a little bit here and there. I started off the season with like 89 of them that had just been thrown at me over the ages. So I'll just go ahead and use them up. Grab myself 4 of them here real quick and get the quadruple XP, you know, the 100% XP bonus. So, and then I will go ahead and take a little nap here real quick and get the other 5% that can come from that. And I need to check my perk cards as well, because I might still have the hard bargain on, but I'm not sure. So I hope that everybody out there is having a good day, that you guys are having a fun time, a fun day, just everything you're wanting to have in life coming true. And if it's not, that's okay. That happens, you know. We all have days where we just can't. We all have days where we're having a very hard time getting through. And the only thing that you can be expected is that you are being the best you that you can be in that moment in time. You know, nothing else can ever be expected of you. And if anybody does expect anything more out of you, well, they're not somebody that you really need to have in your life, right? Because that's the purpose of things, is just to get through the day, you know, get through the day and be the best you that you can be in that moment in time. It's all anybody can ever expect. Okay, and I need to check my perk card too, don't I? Okay, no, I do have the inspirational on. That will work. And for those of you guys curious as well, here's the build that I am using. It's not bad, you know, it's not min-maxed by any means, but it does get the job done, and it has some of the quality of life perks that I look for in a good build. Usually I run around with a little bit extra in the intelligence, but because I've been doing a lot of workshop stuff, I've got the contractor thing there. This is the weapon that I'm using as my main weapon. It is an anti-armor fixer with faster fire rate and faster reload speed. It is a pretty good weapon. It does okay. I've got a couple of bloodied weapons. I've got a couple of bloodied explosive fixers and that kind of thing. I like this one a little bit better. I also have a vampire faster fire rate fixer, and it does really well as on top of it, but that one is there basically just as backup in case crap goes wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and do a repair on this too, because why not? I have a lot of repair kits that I can just blow through and need to get rid of them because they're taking up a lot of weight in my inventory, and I don't want to have to put them all into my stash. I mean, you know, that'd be kind of pointless, right? You want to have them with you in case things go wrong with your weapon or your armor or whatever the case may be, right? Yeah, exactly. So, let's get through these guys here. We'll see if we can get any legendaries. I don't know. My RNG Angel has been really lousy of late, so I don't know what she's going to give me today, if anything. Okay, well, there's the creature in a group one. We got that out of the way. That'll work. And as soon as I level up, I think it'll probably push me over the next score point too. So, or the rank. Sorry. Huh? Yep, no legendaries yet. That's okay. That's okay. The game can be stingy, I guess. It usually is. Let's see. We'll figure out where the dog is. There he is. The dog went quick. Oh, you know what? While I'm right here, too, I may as well look to see if I have anything that can be stashed. As far as scrap is concerned. Yeah, a couple of things. Okay, that'll work. Just clear the inventory out, and in case I die, I don't want to have to try to hunt it down again. Oh, there's one left. Oh, hey. How you doing there, George? Nice to see you. Didn't see you around there the first time. All right. We'll head in here and get these guys taken care of. And it might be that going through here, as well as maybe going and taking care of the Mirelurks or something like that, will probably push me to the level up point. So that'll be good. Need to fill my vape juice here real quick. Sorry. Give me just a brief memento. There we go. All right. So moving on. Let's see what we can do in here. Hopefully a legendary or two will spawn, but we'll see. So small, so weak. Yes. Weak enough that I just blew your head off there, dude. And where's the dog? There you go. Oh, I didn't kill him. Somehow. Alright, there we go.
I am strongest. Strongest.
Strongest super mutant did absolutely no good whatsoever. It did not last you very long there, dude. Alright. There's that one. There's that one. Go around the other way. I know I probably do things a little bit backwards in here, but this is the route that my poor hands and brain have gotten used to doing. So since I do everything I do through muscle memory, it's kind of the pathway that I normally do. For those of you guys that are curious and have never tuned into me before, well, hello, welcome. It's been ages since I've been here, and hopefully you guys are having a good time with it. But I am a blind guy, and I do try to play games and try to do art and try to do all the different things that, you know, that everybody likes to try to do as a human being. But sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, and the only thing I can expect of myself is to have a little bit of fun with it, you know, so that's what I'm doing. And so anyways, yeah, I am blind. I have a genetic defect in my eyes that's called Keratoconus. It is basically a problem that my eyes are pyramid shaped instead of egg shaped, and I have a massive amount of scarring on my corneas, which makes it so that anything that I try to do becomes very difficult to say the least. I see too much instead of too little. So every line, every dot, every point of light, everything is basically it'll repeat itself 30 or 40 times. It's all stacked on top of each other, superimposed over each other, spread from hell to breakfast, and between it all, well, I'm expected to see through that, right? So it's a bit of a problem, you know, and I try to do what I can. The closer I am to the screen, the better off I am, but of course when I'm streaming, it's a little hard to do that and still be able to maintain coherency with the microphone and so on and so forth. So I'm a little bit more distant than what I usually do. But that being said, a lot of the stuff that I do is just through like the muscle memory, the rote and repetition. I've got over 2,000 hours in this game. So by the time that all of this, you know, time passage has come along and all that kind of stuff, I've gotten used to where things spawn, how they move, all that kind of good stuff. So it's not too bad, at least for this game. There are some games that I just cannot play, just cannot do at all in any way, shape, or form. I will give you a perfect example of a more recent game that I tried out and I just can't do. That would be New World. So I tried New World. I got into the closed beta of it and tried it out, gave it my best go, and I could get about 3 hours worth of play in, but I had to step away from it because unfortunately, for whatever reason, the developers of New World, which is a AAA game, right? There's a lot of money pumped into the creation in New World, you know, to make it the game that it is. And you would think a developer that is as big as it is, you know, Amazon Studios, with as much focus on the customer as Amazon has, you know, because Amazon is if nothing else extremely focused on pleasing the customer, right? That's one thing I can say about Bezos, is that's his focus, is pleasing the customer in whatever way he can. Sometimes that is to the detriment of people, but you know, that is what his main goal has always been. That's the byword of his company, right? Well, you would think that a company that has been very focused on that during the entirety of its run would make sure that the development of a game that is designed by them is accessible to everybody. It's not. The main problem that I had with New World is that you cannot adjust or scale the user interface in any kind of way. Like, any kind of way. You could... There's one option to change the chat size, right? To change the... Well, it says text size, right? It says you can make it either normal or bigger, okay? But the only thing that it affects is the chat room that's scrolling along the side of the screen. That's the only thing that size, the text size thing, has an impact upon. Nothing else. So if you're in the game and you're trying to play and you're trying to read the text of what item you pick up or whatever, you're trying to do a comparison between this weapon or that weapon to see if it's better, what the stats are on it, what the effects are on it, all of that kind of stuff, right? Well, me trying to see it with the UI as it stands was a escapade in failure. It was very difficult for me to see it without getting right up on top of it and squinting like hell. All right. Now, I do normally have to squint at least some degree whenever I am playing a game. Hey, I got a legendary item. This game is killing me. I'm telling you, like, over the past couple of weeks, the only thing that I have frickin' seen is either absolutely terrible ranged weapons, like absolutely useless, terrible ranged weapons or melee weapons. Like, it's not giving me anything at all of use. Like, it's getting very disturbing. Anyway, so it was very difficult for me to try to do anything with New World. Now, don't get me wrong, the graphics themselves were okay. Like the gameplay part of it, I could get by with. Right? It was doable. But that's that way with a lot of the games for me. Okay. However, anything dealing with the UI, I couldn't do. And it was really disappointing because I thought that a developer like Amazon pumping that much money into the thing would at least have some acknowledgement of what it's like for somebody that has accessibility issues to try to play one of these games. I'm a big advocate that like if developers just put in a couple of extra days to make sure that the game can be played by anybody who wanted to step up into it, that they make some kind of focus on, hey, let's make it, let's be concerned with the fact that there are people that are out there that like playing games that maybe can't see very well, but they can see well enough that they can get by, right? But they might need some adjustment on the ability to scale the text size a little bit, or to make it so that it's more or less contrasty, or whatever the case may be. You would think, again, that a developer that is dedicated that much money into the game would spend a couple of days to make sure that kind of a thing is a deal, right? Because as it stands, New World is completely a deal breaker for me. I had to refund it. Because there's just no way possible for me to be able to actually do anything in the game that has to do with the UI. It's very disappointing because I was looking forward to the game, like, again, the amount of play that I was able to get in, the gameplay portion of things itself was good, right? It was fun. It was interesting. But when anything that you want to try to do in the game is completely limited because you can't see to do it, I mean, that's problematic. It makes me wonder, because there are other people out there that have other issues, not just me. Hey, ding, cool. Okay, we got this one done. Okay, that will work. We got some atoms too. Nice. Okay. There are people that are out there that have other issues besides just vision. There's also like hearing impaired. There are people that have issues with their hands, or with their arms, all different. I mean, there's a rainbow. There's a cavalcade of people that are out there that have issues that still like to play games. And listen. We know and understand when we walk into a game that we have these inherent issues for us, right? We know that things are already going to be a challenge. Okay, we accept that. We accept that that's a matter of course, that if we're going to play a game, like for me, okay, just speaking on my own behalf here, I know that if I go to a game, me being blind, I'm already going to have a challenge making sure that I am getting things done, being able to see the game, to accept the challenges that are there with it, right? But at the same time, the challenge for the game should not be me having to fight the user interface to make it so that I can possibly do anything with it. You see what I mean? There's a difference there. I accept that there are challenges to the game, but I don't accept that the challenge in and of itself is going to have to be that I can't use the user interface, that I'm not going to be able to see what is on the screen, to be able to even tell what weapon I'm using, or something like that. That's the problem that New World had for me. The text was so freaking small that I just could not, even through squinting, get enough of a visual idea of what was there to allow me to enjoy the game at all. So it's my hope. It's my, and don't get me wrong, like,
I'm not an evil person. I'm not a wicked person. I'm just here to have fun.
I'm here to have a good time, right?
but there are just some things that I don't know, should be like not top of the list, right? Like I understand like us that are trying to play these games with issues like this are in the minority, right? We're very much a minority. We're a minority with everything. Okay. I get that. So it's not like top level concern to make sure that this poor blind guy isn't, you know, failing to be able to see anything or whatever, right? But in the scale of things, like you would think in this modern era that we're in, that accessibility would at least be somewhere on the list. Somewhere on the list. As something that should have a focus. As something that should have a little bit of time given to it to make sure it, you know, that it's there. A lot of other games do it. Like a lot of other games are doing really well at making sure that people that are like me can still play the game. And 15 years ago, that definitely was not a thing. You know, most games had no thought, no care about making sure that people could play, you know, that had these issues. Blizzard just announced a few days ago, actually, that as they're developing Diablo II, the remaster, they are aware that one of the issues with an ARPG game is that there is a lot of button clicking to do. You know, you're in one play session, you're going to be clicking that button thousands and thousands and thousands of times, right? But that doesn't mean that like you have to like deal with carpal tunnel, right? If you can avoid it. So what they're doing is they're making it so that the abilities can be used just by holding the button down. You know, so they're aware that this issue is there with their game, so they are doing what they can to take care of it. That's really cool. You know, that is an awareness on the part of the developers for people that have problems. So why Amazon Studios, of all things, which has this focus on customers, right? Customer service is their big thing. Why they're neglecting to do something to help out like this whole swath of people that could purchase their game and enjoy it is beyond me. It really is. I know I'm on a little bit of a tangent here, but it irks me a little bit, you know? And I have a platform and I'm going to speak it. So, and I hope that maybe a developer out there, you know, if you're developing a game, like, great, more power to you. I wish you luck and I hope that it goes really well, but please, for the love of God and all that is holy, at least make sure that you're doing something to give the people who need accessibility a little bit of help. Like, just a little bit of help. And I'm not asking for anything cheaty, right? Like, I understand things like aim assist in a PvP game is bad. So people that have issues with aiming because of their physical disabilities, you don't want to give them an advantage, right? You don't want to give anybody else either an inherent advantage. Okay. So I understand that that is not going to be a thing, right? But, I don't know. It's just one of them things that I hope that it changes you know, as time goes on, that we see more companies being, again, that kind of self-awareness enough to give those of us that have these problems a little bit of a break so we don't have to fight the UI. You know, that would be really nice. That would be really nice. So the world did not reset, I think. That or I'm lagging. Yeah, the world didn't reset. Shoot. Sometimes it does. I'm just going to have to log out here for a second and let it kind of reload a little bit. Because all I need to do is kill this last Deathclaw and then I can be done with this. Let's see here. So I got through this one. I got the T60 paint, which I can't make use of. I'm using an XO1. And then I got the atoms. I'll go ahead and grab those. This next thing that we're going to be opening up is the stairs with posts, which I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely a camp builder in the game. I love to build camps and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to making use of those. I'll jump back onto the adventure world and see if it'll put me into a different world now that I logged out for a few seconds. We'll see what happens.
I hope everybody out there is having a great night, that everything is going your way, that everything in your dreams is coming true. Absolutely, my friends. Enjoy yourselves.
All right, let's see if this will let me get the Deathclaw this time, so I can be done with it. Any Deathclaw. Anybody at all. I think this put me right on the same world again. Nope, there's one. Good, good. Okay. Get that out of the way and be done with it. Yay! Okay. Sure, we'll take all your goodies. There we go. That almost, yeah, I was going to say that almost got it there, but yep. Okay, good. So that should be, other than the daily ops crap, that should be it. Yeah, that is it. Okay, good, cool, that'll work. Oh, I guess we got a double, didn't we? Yeah, it looks like we had a double weekend this weekend too. Okay, well, that's cool. I didn't even recognize that. Let me go ahead and fast travel over to my camp again, and that way I can dump off my goodies, and I can go ahead and log out from here and we can just have a chat. And of course the server disconnected. Nope, there we go. Okay, now we're good. Okay, let me go ahead and dump the goodies here. Nope, there it goes again. All right, thank you, 76. What are you doing? Thank you. Okay, did that actually get it there? Yep, okay, that got it there. I'll go ahead and log off because the server's just blah. It's being a pain. All right, so quit the game. There we go. And now you guys can look at my beautiful face. Ooh. For whatever that's worth. So anyways, it's kind of one of those things where when, for instance, playing Fallout 76, there are ways to adjust the UI a little bit in it to make it so that it's a little bit easier to see. One of the advantages with 76 compared to some of the other Fallout games is that you can make it so that that power armor effect is there compared to using the Pip-Boy itself, you know, bringing the Pip-Boy up into your face and stuff like that. Being able to do the power armor thing with like the power armor screen as opposed to the Pip-Boy screen, it's easier for me to see. It's more flat, so it's easier for me to discern, you know, what the letters are trying to tell me, as opposed to doing it through the Pip-Boy. So Fallout 4 and that kind of stuff, where it's more you're staring at the Pip-Boy, it's a little bit more difficult for me. I've gotten accustomed to it, granted, but it was a little bit more difficult for me. Give me just a brief moment here, folks. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. I see I lost a couple more subs over there on YouTube. It's very confusing, because like over on YouTube, for the past few months, I've been known for doing games, right? So I'm sitting here playing Fallout 76. I've got it listed as Fallout 76. I always end up getting viewers over there, right? No, for some reason I'm actually losing subscriptions. It's really weird. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the YouTube stuff. I guess maybe I just need to focus a lot more on Twitch because I'm kind of growing over there. I mean, it's slow, right? I've been doing Twitch for 4 weeks now. 4 weeks, something like that. Anyways, I'm enjoying my time over there. It's definitely good. But I've always been over on YouTube. That's where I've always had my career, and so yeah, it's weird. I don't get it. I don't know what's been going on the past couple of weeks. Like within the past 14 days or so, I've lost, let's see, 90 subscribers. That's painful. That's heartbreaking. And I'm not sure what to do about it. I don't know. It is what it is, though. It happens. Sometimes the ebb and flow of things makes it so that you're getting ahead, and sometimes it means that you're getting behind. And apparently right now it's my time to be behind when it comes to the YouTube stuff. I don't know. Anyways, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is in regards to like the art stuff, because I was doing the art stream earlier. I was having a lot of fun with it, but I'm very concerned about doing the artwork publicly because I don't know how people react. You know what I mean? Like, say I'm a blind guy, right? I am. And let me show you the image that I've started to work with that was tonight, right? If I can figure out where it's at here. Give me one brief second here. Yeah, of course, my computer's being a little slow. Sav, hey, so we're talking about whatever, just literally anything that comes along is what we're discussing today. Hopefully you're having a good evening. I was just kind of maybe talking a little bit about the art stuff, and that kind of thing. I just got done doing Fallout 76. This right here is the image that I started to create today. And it's like I'm a little concerned because I've never shared my process with anybody, like how I do it or whatever the case may be. I've never shared the process with anybody. And
quite frankly, I'm a little concerned. What should I be?
It's reasonably finished. Like, I know there are still some details that I could do to it, but I don't know if I'll get to it anytime soon. Like, but it's at a developed portion enough that I can be satisfied and say, okay, I did something okay there. Like I can feel reasonably comfortable with it being there. But it's like I'm very concerned about like displaying, my process and stuff. So I don't know. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I'm a little bit weird. Like a lot of my stuff, you know, when I do art, a lot of my stuff turns out to be either really like fantasy based or grotesque. Like, and it's that way with my writing too, you know. My writing is that way too, that it tends towards the grotesquerie. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. You know, I'm science fiction, fantasy, and horror, you know. I think my kiddo is going to come steal the tablet too, so pardon as they might come grab it. I don't know if they're going to come in or not. But anyways, so like I can show you a couple of other things that I've done over the years, and you can maybe get an idea of the style and the things that I go with, you know. So like this one here, I'm really proud of. Like this one came out cool, you know, or at least to me. There we go. I like how it came out. It's got that kind of distinctness and that just enough grotesquerie to be like, you know, what is that? That's intriguing, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, if it looks good, it looks good. Right, exactly. But you know, one of the issues is that sometimes when it comes to me dealing with my eyes, I don't really know if it looks good. It does to me, right? But I don't know if anybody else feels that way too, you know? And I know a lot of times it's the eye of the beholder stuff, you know, but here's another one that I really liked, how this one came out too. You know, I try to do things in a way that people can look at and maybe make them think a little bit, you know, like, ooh, what was going on there? What's this about? You know, that kind of thing. This is another one that I like too, if it'll come up. Yeah, there we go. But a lot of them are like weird. The perspectives are kind of weird, that kind of stuff, you know. I like this one too. This one felt good. But like, you know, all of these images, like by the time that things were said and done, I know that there's more that I could have done with them, right? But I was satisfied with it, you know. I could walk away from it and say, okay, I did something okay there. This one was kind of cool. I don't do many like monstrous creatures, but this one was kind of neat. I like this one a lot too. I don't know. I guess you could say that I have my own style just because of the way that my eyes work. You know, like I have to do things in a bizarre kind of a way. So sometimes the creatures will be bizarre, you know, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's like a really good idea for me to do the sharing of the creation portion of it. You know, that's where I'm like wondering if it's worthwhile to do, you know? Because it is like different. It takes me a while to get things done. You know, I don't want to bore people while I'm just sitting there doing the artwork and stuff, you know? So I don't know. I just don't know what to do with it. I like how this one came out too. This one was a bit bizarre, but I like how this one came out too. Hey, Miso. Yeah. These are all images that I've created. These are all images that I've done at different times, like over the past. Most of these were done within the past year. Let's see. Oh, this one is really cool too. I like this one. I was like, I had in my mind, what would it be like to have like a you know, like a drow elf or something like that was actually a superhero, you know? So that's what I came up with this one, you know, that kind of the dark-skinned elfin kind of a creature, you know, but it's a superhero kind of a thing. So Superman, but a drow elf version. I don't know, whatever. This one I liked a lot too. Anyways, it's like I'm not trying to show off or anything along those lines, but it's like my concern is if I do the art streams, like how interested are people in like the creation process of these kind of things, because they're different, if that makes sense. Thank you. Actually, see, I've been doing art for years, right? I first started like publishing my art. 15 years ago, 16, 17 years ago, something like that. And I started off on DeviantArt. And like, I would get a lot of comments from people talking about the fact that like the one thing that they really liked about what I could do was that I would do like this contrast between light and dark, shadow and light. And I think it's because of the way that my eye works. Because light, like the more light there is, the more pain I have, and the more like attuned to the darkness I become. Like I live like a mushroom, really. I'm always in darkness, because the more lights there are, it really starts to hurt me. So I think that kind of thing comes out in my art, where like every bit of light that I do is really intentional. Like it's there for a reason, you know what I mean? And if it's not reasonable for me to have it, then I don't want to make use of it. You know what I mean? So, so primarily I do Photoshop. I can show you actually, give me a quick second here. I can show you how I was doing things. Like I did an art stream earlier today. Let me go ahead and load things up here. It's pretty quick. It shouldn't take too long for it to load. But I was doing an art stream tonight, and I can actually show you like a really good like version of the process. So give me just a brief moment here. So how's your night going, Miso? Out of curiosity, how you doing? I hope that you're having a good day. It's been a good day here. I've just been having a pain day and kind of lamenting as to whether or not I need to like continue on with doing like the art streams and that kind of stuff. I had a couple of people tune in for it, but it just not very much. And of course, I mean, I'm still a very small guy, very small fry on Twitch. So I'm aware, that that's going to be the case no matter what it is that I do. But okay, so here's Photoshop, and this image that I'm loading up right now, this is like pretty close to a completed image for me. There are still some things that I could do with it, but let me get it so it's full size here. Just a second. There we go. Fit on screen. Okay. So this is like pretty complete. Now, one of the things that I could do with it is, kind of brighten up on the contrasts and that kind of thing. And, fill out the hair a little bit better. I'd probably like add in some like particle effects and that kind of stuff just to make it look, a little bit more punchy, right? But this is pretty much a completed image. So let me go through here and I will show you like what I started off with. And yes, I use a lot of layers, but I do it on purpose. Some of the layers are there just for the contrast portion of things, and I want to keep them separated because they're on like, different levels. So, okay, this is what I started off with. So what I do in order for me to work, I don't see lines. Like I cannot use line art. It's a nigh on impossibility for me. And the reason why is because, let me create a different layer here real quick. The reason why is because if I draw a line, just as an example, let's say that line right there. Okay. If I draw that line, I don't just see this line. I see this line. I see a line here. I see a line here. I see a line here. I see one here. I see one here. I'm pointing out where they all are. I see one that's kind of coming down like this. I see another one that's going up like this. They're all kind of like warped and shaped and weird and so on and so forth, right? So what I do is I can show you it right now. In fact, I don't have I don't have a tablet. My kid just stole my tablet, so I can't show you through like the tablet like how I would normally do. But what I do is I come in and I create a whole new thing, right? Just use a blank black canvas or whatever the case may be. You can set whatever color you want down here at the base, right? But I usually do black. But you can use any color, and the color that you choose is actually going to have a little bit of an impact on what happens at this next stage of things. Okay. No, I don't. The monitor I've got like dark enough that, the light from it is minimal compared to the rest of the lights that are around. So like my phone light, for instance, like, okay. I don't know how well you can see this. My phone is right here. Okay. I have my phone on a gooseneck, arm that's coming off of like where my light stand is. And that's how I'm reading the chat. So the phone has my chat. And let me show you here just so that you can see, like, right here is your chat message. This is how big it is. And even with it that big, even with it being that close to me right now, I have to squint really hard to read it, you know? So, the light from my monitor is actually less than the one that's on the phone. So it's kind of like my eyes see the corner light a little bit more than it sees the monitor light, if that makes sense. I gotta bring the phone back down here just real quick so it's not like right in everybody's face. There we go. That should be better. So anyways, the monitor the monitor light itself is pretty minimal comparatively. If I was to, like, in fact, this light right here is one of those round LED lights that the streamers use, the big time streamers. They use these lights, these LED lights, you know, but I've got it there basically just so that it like helps to add a little bit light, right? I also have another light that's behind where the phone is. I don't know if you could see it there when I was pointing it in that direction. Maybe you could, like in the reflection or something, but there's another light that's back there that's like it's turned away, you know, but it's like adding just a little bit of that ambience. And then if I turn the phone off and then I turn this light off, that's how much light is coming from the monitor. It's like, it's barely anything. Now if I was to go to a white screen, you know, like, I don't know, here you go. If I go to a white screen, you can see that's a very bright white light, right? So let me turn these things back on now for you. Anyways, so if I'm on just like a normal page or a black screen or whatever the case may be, it's not that bad for me at all. Thankfully, I've gotten very adjusted to it, if that makes sense. So anyways, let me show you then over here in Photoshop what I do with things.
And pay attention, for this is important. Oh yes, this is important.
Anyway, so I never get a chance to play with my voice mods. I like to do it. So what you can do in Photoshop, if you go to the if you go to the side here, one of the tools is called the pattern stamp tool. Okay. What I've discovered is that if you use the pattern stamp tool, like I've got this weird brush set up with it, right? On the toolbar for the pattern tool, there is this button right here. What I've done is I have set up different pieces of art that either I have created or other people have created over the years, that have different like colors and that kind of thing to them, like a nice palette to make use of, right? Let's choose this one here, for instance. Then this button right here, the impressionist button, is very important to check mark. The pattern stamp tool makes it so that whatever you have as the stamp, if you were to use the tool, it will just recreate the image, right? You see what it's doing? It's just recreating the image. Of course, it's a little sideways, but it's recreating the same image, right? Now, if you do the impressionist, though, what it does is you see it lays out just all kinds of weird colors that are based on the brush, but the colors are from the palette of this image. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll find like whatever kind of color scheme I happen to be in the mood for at that moment in time. I'll make use of it, and then I'll just kind of like lay down some paint. Boom. Right there you go. And I will let my brain kind of unlock and see what kind of thing it can pick up within this pattern of junk. You see what I mean? So right now I can see that there is a little bit of something that wants to come out. Okay. So I could see like this could be like a little bit of a top down view, like coming from an upper behind, like at a diagonal level, right? A little boy or something walking through a forest, and like the green here is like the floor, right? And then let me do this, bring up the opacity a little bit so you can see. And then he would be like, right here's his head, right here's his body, and he's like, right here's a wrong way. Trying to without being very close to the monitor, but you guys get the point, right? Like he's kind of walking through the forest a little bit, you know what I mean? And you can kind of like, you can make this into something kind of horrific even, like you can start shading in everything so it's much more of a darker scene or something like that. You see what I mean? So it's like, that's what I try to do, is just let my brain unlock and try to find something interesting that it can grab hold of and run with. And so in this here, what I saw was, once the pattern got laid down, once all of this stuff got laid down, right? I could see like, okay, right here looks like a little bit of legs. Like I can see that there's like a viewpoint maybe of a woman that is sitting here, and it's maybe like again, kind of like a forest view or a swampy kind of a view or something like that, like here's a shoulder, here's her body. Maybe this is like her legs and she's sitting on something, like a rock or a log or something like that, right? And I thought originally maybe her arm was like coming over this way or something, but like right here would be her face, and maybe her head like right in here, you see. So it's like, so between all of that, let me go ahead and go back over to my streamer here. But between all of that is how I came up with the image, not this one here, but this as sort of the final-ish result, you see. So you can see, like, if you compare this to, where's it going? Sorry, my thing's messing up a little bit. To this, you can get an idea, where the one product was, and then this, was the baseline for it. So I hope that all that makes sense. It's a little weird, right? But it's the way that my eyes work. Like it's what I've found over the years, for me, works best to get the flow of ideas working enough that I can create something that will hopefully turn out to be okay, So my concern, my thought, my problem is that, okay, so I've done 3 streams with this creation of art so far. And I'm very nervous about it. Like I'm terrified of it, because I don't want people, maybe I'm just a little too sensitive with it, right? Because I don't want people like, bashing it, like these are my babies, my art is my babies, and it's like, I am accustomed to showing them to people, but like the final result of things, not the process of it. The only person who's ever seen the process of what I create has been my wife. And that's only because she's been sitting next to me while I do it. You know what I mean? It is unique. I mean, it's definitely different from anybody else that I've ever seen. But the only thing I can like compare it to is somebody that is like a sculptor who says that they can see in the stone the art that already exists there, and they see it there before they even make the first cut, you know? And that's sort of how it is for me with the art process, that I lay down this splat of paint, basically. And yes, it's digital paint, but still it's a splat of paint. And out of that paint, then I start like adding on either light or shadow to try to bring out what was hidden in that image for everybody else. I could see it, right? But nobody else can. So, at least at that moment, I don't know, maybe you could, right? Maybe you could, but you know, you didn't see it probably in the same way that I did. And, so what happens with this is that because of the way my eyes work, I think that it gives me a little bit more of an advantage when it comes to this kind of a process than it would for people that have normal vision. Because again, my eyes are full of the lines and the swirls and the things and the all over the place, right? So I see like weird patterns anyway. And then you throw that paint on there and, you know, you just kind of like let the imagination loose for a minute. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, I see it. It's kind of like the ultimate version of cloud watching, you know, being able to pick out the rabbit in the cloud or something like that. That's what it's akin to, you know, is doing something like that. Only because of the way my eyes work, it's a different level of it, you know? So I can't look in the sky and see the bunny because I can't see the clouds as being anything different from what the sky itself is. You know, it's all blended together and mixed up because it's so far distant, you know? But for me, having this be like a few inches away from my face makes it so that I can see it, quote unquote. So, but it's like, it's terrifying to me, you know, and it's like, I know I'm kind of lamenting on this, right? Because, my YouTube channel is what I've always had to focus on. I've only just started on Twitch over the past few weeks, at least with this channel. I did have a channel on here previously, that I did all of my radio stuff with. And that's what my YouTube channel was all really regarding to, or at least ultimately they ended up becoming. But I've had my YouTube channel since like 2009. It's an old channel, you know? And for about 6 years worth of time, I was simulcasting my radio shows onto YouTube as I was broadcasting them out on the radio. So I have a lot of subscribers on YouTube, like 5,400 subscribers. You know, it's not a lot, right? But it's a decent amount. It's pretty good. You know, it's still small, but it's not brand new, I guess you could say. And I've always been very proud of what I've been able to accomplish by getting that many people to subscribe to just some guy doing radio shows. You know, that's not very prevalent. You know, it's not somebody coming on doing games and stuff like that. It's not very popular, if that makes sense, you know? So I was always very proud of the accomplishment of being able to generate that many subscribers. And I had, you know, a lot of views on the channel. Right, exactly. Because at the finished product, you know, if you're showing the finished product, it's kind of like, okay, yeah. I mean, I can see the result. I can see what's happening. I like it or I don't like it. Right? There's no. It's either on or off. I either like it or I don't like it, or it's kind of meh, right? But doing the process of it, because my process is so bizarre and kind of time consuming, I'm concerned that people that are going to come and watch this art stream are going to get a little bit bored, because for like, you know, 15 minutes, I might just be sitting there working on like one little itty bitty section of it. You see what I mean? Whereas somebody that's doing like line art and that kind of stuff, they're doing much more dramatic stuff, you know, like it's big swathing changes and all that kind of stuff with each stroke of their pen and stuff. It's a little bit more exciting, you know? I do too. I mean, and if nothing else, I want to try to educate people on like techniques that they may have never thought of before that might help them to, you know, garner something different out of the stuff that they're creating, because maybe they're having issues too with being able to come up with ideas or whatever the case may be. This technique is super good. Like, it's intended for generation of ideas. You can come up with dozens of them. Like, when I was doing the stream earlier tonight, you know, before I started working on the one that you ended up seeing there, I did like 3 or 4 others, you know, other patterning things. And I'm like, okay, here's what it could be. Here's what you could do, blah, 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 you know, and move on to the next one. Here's another one. You can do this. Here's another, you know, view. And there's a side view of a monstrous creature, you know, on and on and on. Right. I'm coming up with like just idea after idea. So, the whole point of it is to generate like as many different ideas that you can run with, that you can try to manage to get to come out, you know? But anyways, so with the YouTube channel, what I've noticed over the past 2 weeks is I've lost like 90 subs. And I'm losing, you know, the amount of views. And it really concerns me, because it's like, well, why is this happening? I'm not doing anything different at this moment in time that I have been doing over the past few months, you know. Why all of a sudden are people dropping away from me in droves? It's kind of confusing. Right. Yeah. I mean, I was playing like really cool music and stuff. I had some like really nice like ambient music going on throughout it and everything. It was very chill, you know, very chill and relaxed. So I don't know what to do. Like right now I'm simulcasting on both YouTube and Twitch, right? And I'm not sure at this stage of my career with things what one is better to focus on for what I want to do. Because like I have people that I enjoy communicating with, that I enjoy talking to, that come to my streams and talk and that kind of stuff, but they're exclusively on YouTube. They're not on Twitch. I also have people that I enjoy communicating with and getting involved with and so on and so forth that are exclusively on Twitch, that don't come to YouTube, you know? So it's like, I don't want to like not simulcast, because if I do that, then I'm not going to be able to connect with the people that I've been used to, you know, communicating with on YouTube, right? During the broadcasts. But I also don't want to lose out on Twitch, because I'm trying to grow on Twitch, you know? So it's like everything that happens on Twitch needs to happen on Twitch, right? So I know it's weird, but you know, it's like, I just don't know what to do. I'm in one of those kind of weird positions where I'm coming as like not a big streamer, but at least one that's been established on YouTube. I mean, some of my I'll tell you something that was heartbreaking for me to do. Okay. I dealt with this decision for weeks, like trying to figure out whether or not this was the right thing to do. And I do think that in the end it was. Okay. But again, like most of my channel's focus was on the radio shows. I don't do the radio shows anymore. I haven't done them for a couple of years now. I had to walk away from it because I was, number one, so stressed out. But number two, we were getting death threats and you know, we were doxxed. I mean, you name it, a lot of crap was happening. We were under some severe harassment from people. So I had to walk away from it. And I had to make the decision of what to do with the content that was there. Okay. Yeah, it was bad. It was horrible. I'll give you an example of like how much content I have on my YouTube channel. All of the videos that I've got there, if you were to hit play on the first video that was ever posted and go until like 24/7, play them 24/7 nonstop until the last video. Like this one right now, right? For instance, this one right now, to hit play from the first video ever until now. It would go nonstop for 195 days. 195 days. That's how much content I've got on that channel. It's a lot. It's a lot of time and effort and energy involved in that channel. Okay. There's not many people out there that can say they have 195 days worth of content on their channel. Yeah. So I've been doing this for a while. You know, I mean, I did the radio shows for like 6 years, and I would do them between 3 and 5 times a week, sometimes for upwards of 10 hours a day. You know what I mean? So, what does POG mean anyways? I've seen that around and I'm not sure what that one means. If you can enlighten me, I'd really appreciate that. Where was I going with this? Okay. So, I had to make the decision of what to do with all of that content. Okay. Because if someone comes to my channel now and they want to like get involved with what I'm doing now, and they were to look at like my video list, the vast difference between what I'm doing right now and what I was doing back then is like night and day. You know, there's vast difference between it. And it's not that I'm not proud of what I did, but it's a matter of like, it's so different that I don't want to really throw somebody completely off kilter by them looking for me playing a video game or something like that and seeing, you know, me talking about, you know, Satanism and you know, our ghosts real and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like it's way different, you know? Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. I see it here and there. I've never looked it up to see what it is. You young people and all of your terms, I don't know them. So what I had to do, I had to come to the decision of what to do with all that content. So I delisted like almost all of it. There's still some of the radio shows that were there from like when I did author interviews and that kind of thing. But I set it all as unlisted. I basically deleted about 1 million views from my channel. Like just gone. Now I could bring them back. Like if I was to make them public again, those views would come back. Right. But I unlisted them because I don't want them to appear on the channel when somebody looks at the video list. However, there's a lot of places that still have the links for those videos attached to them. You know, all of the different places that I published them and different people that have posted them around the world and so on and so forth. So I don't want to like set them to private or delete the videos because, you know, there was a lot of effort that went into them and I don't want them to just disappear. So if somebody has a link for the content, it will still show up, but otherwise it doesn't show up on the channel itself. That was a really hard decision to make. And I'm hoping that the fact that I did that is not why I'm now bleeding out subscribers. I'm a little nervous at this point with it, you know? It's kind of a scary proposition, you know? It's kind of a scary thing that I did with it. So I guess I'm going to play it out for the next couple of weeks and see what happens over on the YouTube channel. And if I still keep losing subscribers and so on and so forth. I mean, I'm not going to lose partnership or anything like that anytime soon with YouTube because like I'd have to lose like 5,000 subscribers for that to happen, you know? And I don't expect that's going to happen. Right. But like, I'm not gaining any either. And I don't know why. I mean, I've got pretty decent content. I think I try to make it reasonably entertaining or educational and all that kind of stuff, but you know, I just don't know. That I could do too. And that was something that I considered. But like when you go to YouTube, if you go to somebody's channel and you hit like videos, and then you were to do it like from the most popular to the, instead of like showing you by the newest date added, if you listed it by like the most popular, the ones that would show up would have nothing to do with the stuff that I'm doing currently. And that was my concern, is that like if somebody was to come to the channel and see this confusing conglomeration of different topics and different things going on, that they might be a little bit less willing to subscribe to it because they don't know what I'm focused on or what I'm about, I guess. And dealing with people, the average public, the average Joe Q public out there, they get confused pretty easy, They don't have time for that. They don't have time to look through the list and see, okay, well, what is this guy actually about? They're just going to look and say, okay, that kind of content I don't have any interest in, so I'm going to skip it, So that's why I decided to just delist it instead. So like I said, the channel itself, like the numbers still exist on the channel, but they don't show up publicly, Where was I going with this? Oh, so again, my issue is like, I know at this point in time, I want my prime focus to be more towards Twitch so that I could grow it and, maybe have people interested in what I'm doing over here, because I like the YouTube stuff. Yes, I'm simulcasting on there, but I've also been doing like recordings, of games and stuff. And so like, for instance, I do them in a weird way. I make it so that like it's as if I'm breaking into a television station, like hacking into a television station, like then I'm broadcasting out what I'm doing, and then the television station takes it back over again and ends the video and that kind of stuff. So it's it's a little bit different, a little bit weird, that kind of stuff. But I try to make it so that it's like story based, because I'm a writer. As a profession, I'm a writer. And so I try to, come up with things that are entertaining in that kind of a way. So I can't do that as well with Twitch, right? Because it's much more about the live content. But I do deeply enjoy doing the live content. So if I had my druthers, what I'd druther do is something along the lines of, live stream on Twitch, have that be the primary thing that I'm doing the live streaming on, and then do video recordings on YouTube, whether that's like, hacking and slashing the VODs that I do on Twitch, and then, making them into like a separate content on YouTube, or doing things separate entirely for YouTube. You know what I mean? And just not go live on YouTube. But if that is the case, then I lose the people that know me, that I simulcast to, and that come in and interact and stuff on my YouTube channel too. You see, best of both worlds, right? But there are at least 10 people that I can think of on the top of my head that would never use Twitch, but would only come to YouTube as a stream on YouTube. You see what I mean? And not necessarily watch any recorded content either. So that's a decent amount of people to not be there to be communicating with and, have fun with and, have the interactions with and stuff. So it's like what I would love to see happen. And I'm just, I'm just rolling this out, right? I'm an open book. I'm a very open book with how I do things, with what I'm doing, all of that kind of stuff, right? I want people to just, understand, hey, I'm just a guy who's trying to do something here, What I would love to do is to have, a bigger channel on Twitch so that I can have people come in and communicate, because that's where I work best. I'm a weird guy, it's hard for me to just be weird when I'm talking into the void, I'd like to have, people come in and do more interaction so that I don't feel as bad about saying, okay, YouTube, I'm not going to go ahead and live stream over to you for now. And anybody that wants to watch me can just come over to Twitch. You see what I mean? Because I would still lose out on a lot of interactions that I have currently if I was to just do that right here, right now. I hope that makes sense. Like, that's ultimately what I want to get to. If I can get, another few people coming in and talking, and just being able to have a good time with and so on and so forth, then I'm not going to feel as bad about cutting off the people that are on YouTube that do interact with me. You see? So I know maybe one or two would, but by and large they wouldn't. And it's unfortunate, but I already know, like, they've already spoken out about the fact that they wouldn't do it, so yeah, ultimately that's what I would like to do. I do want to do like separate content for YouTube itself as recordings, like not like split from Twitch, but like I want to make it so that if people come to Twitch, then they're going to see one set of content. And if they go to YouTube, they're going to see an entirely different set of content. Does that make sense? But the stuff on YouTube is going to be more like either recorded or tutorial or that kind of thing based, as opposed to trying to do it here on Twitch. I know that somebody like Ludwig, for instance, he does his videos where he knows and he's like got it planned out and everything, that what he does on Twitch is going to become a YouTube video. Like, he plans it out ahead of time and focuses the content around that kind of thing. I could do that, but at the same time, then it's a little bit more difficult to have like just the one-on-one fun, adventurous interactions with people and not know anything about what's going to happen from moment to moment, because people are random and that's where the fun is, right? So yeah, it is. It's a tough spot and I don't know what to do with it. I'm very iffy and it's like, I'm not a beautiful person, right? It's like if I was up here showing my chest, and my cleavage and all that kind of stuff, maybe I might have people come in and view me, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not about that. I'm about like being a genuine person to have fun with, so I know that like one of my things that I focus on is that everybody who comes to my channel and is here for any length of time, I want them to come away from it feeling like they are better for it. Like, I don't want to just come on here and just be the blah, 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 weird person, and all that kind of stuff. That's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. There's a place for that. And I don't mind that kind of content watching sometimes too. Right. But that's not who I am. I'm trying to be like a genuine person that can like help, or that, just, I can tell you I've lived through a crazy life. I've been through hell and high water a few times, literally, so, I can come up with some stories, man, I'll tell you, but, that's what I want people to see when they come here, is that, I can be this chill person to talk to, or I can maybe help people out, or I can, just various and sundry, because that's what I did with my radio shows too. My radio shows were really focused on trying to entertain, educate, and edify people so that they could walk away from it feeling like, okay, yeah, I feel really good after hearing that, whether it's because you were entertained, or because it was something that I helped you out with, or, hey, I just learned something that I never knew before, anything along those lines, so like, I like to do my dad moments, these moments, because you're not going to find that many other places, right? You're not going to find people that are on here telling you, hey, no matter what anybody says or does, no matter what anybody teaches you, don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not worthy of being loved, because you absolutely are. Nobody's going to tell you the straight stuff of, if you're not the lead dog, you're never going to have a change of scenery. You're always going to be staring at an asshole. There's a lot of different things that I could give you guys as things that you can walk away from, this and feel good about, or have had a nice experience with. So.
And sometimes I'm just weird. more than a little weird.
But it's fun. So for those of you guys just walking in, hello, welcome. This is Blind Dad Does. My name is Ira, and I hope that you're having a really good day. We're right now just kind of relaxing, talking about whatever. We've covered all kinds of different topics today, and just having a good time, you know? So what's on your mind? How you been? How you doing? And where are you from? What's going on? All that kind of good stuff. Whatever everybody says when they meet and greet. I'm doing pretty well. I'm currently processing oxygen and experiencing cellular death and decay and rebirth. So I guess I'm getting along pretty well. That's about what it takes to get by, right? Give me a brief moment. My cat is trying to destroy the door, trying to get out the door. So I need to make sure that the door doesn't get destroyed. I need to let him out real quick. So I will be right back. Please be patient. Okay, I am back. Yeah, he's a little asshole, but what can I do, right? He's a good cat though. He really is. It's just like he'll get stuck in the room, and I have to have the door closed because our air conditioner is super freaking loud. Super loud. And it's unfortunately only like 6 feet away from where the door is to this studio. So every time it kicks on, it is like overwhelming how loud it is. It's so like, I'm an audiophile, guys. I really am. Like, imagine a blind guy being an audiophile, but I really am. Like, I'm very finicky about the sound levels and the sound quality of my streams. If I am not sounding decent, I don't want to get on. You know, I don't want to get on. I don't want to do it. It's not for me. It's not that night, you know? So I try to do what I can to make sure that my sound levels are as good as they can be. Right. So, when it comes to, the air conditioner running just a few feet away from, the door, I can't handle that, right? So I've got to have it closed, and I've got like everything battened down pretty hard to make it so that the sound of the doesn't come through as much as possible. Anyways, it comes through a little bit here and there maybe, but I don't think you guys even notice it. It's just me that notices it because my ears are really sensitive to it. Right, exactly. And it's like where we're at, like, it's unfortunate because this room has, I gotta adjust my microphone here. I'm sorry. This room has 3 vents in it, and all 3 of them are super loud. And because this furnace / air conditioner are so close, we get either super cold or super hot in this room. Like during the wintertime, oh my God, I swear it gets like 100 degrees in this room. I have got to have a fan running all the time. And so I've got everything set up, I think, kind of like prepped so that I'm not going to have to deal with the sound of the fan coming through on the microphone. I had a mixer So let me tell you a little bit about this story here, because this is really messed up, right? So back during my radio days, I had a really nice microphone. It was an ATR 2100, really nice XLR/USB microphone. I loved it. It was really good. And I had a really good mixer to go with it. And so like I had pretty decent sound quality. Out of the network that I was associated with, I think I had the best sound quality, honestly. There was a guy, I kid you not, he had a $3,000 mixer. This thing was like a professional studio grade mixer that was like massive. I mean, he had like 40 channels on it. He had like all of the sound effects. He had just wires and taps and everything all over the place, right? It sounded like crap. I mean, it sounded like you were in a dungeon trying to listen through a wall to somebody talking. It was like nothing but echo and nasty. Oh God, it sucked. It sucked. And like one of the big problems is that because Ira ran the network, Ira was the one to be expected to teach everybody and educate everybody on how their sound levels were supposed to be, you know, because it was my responsibility. I had to be not only the production engineer, but sound engineer and everything as well. So this guy had this $3,000 sound system. I had mine, like I paid probably a good $250 for my sound setup, you know, and it sounded really good. Like, because I educated myself on how to make it sound good. I've never been to school for sound engineering or anything like that, but I'm self-educated and I wanted to make sure that I knew everything that I needed to know before I ever hit the record button the first time, you know, like I needed to, that's how I am, right? I'm very obsessed in a lot of ways. I do. I have OCD in a lot of ways. And this happens to be one of them where I have to have the surety in my head about a thing before I start doing that thing. Otherwise, I'm going to torture myself with it. It's just the way that I am, you know? Right, exactly. You can have like the best tool in the world, but if you have no clue how to do it, you're just going to hit yourself in the crotch. You know, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So that's what happened with this guy in particular. And I'll name names. Thomas, that was his name. It was horrible, the sound quality, but he was like, my sound is good. Everything sounds just fine. And I'm like, dude, do you not realize that every time you come on the air, we literally lose 1 million listeners? Like, gone. You know, you've got to handle your problem here, dude. So, Thomas doxed. Hey, Frosty. Just in time for me to dox, right? No, I mean, hey, when you're a public figure and you're on the radio station, everybody knew him as Thomas. So everybody knew that guy that came on the air and he hit that button, man. Oof. It's Thomas on the air. So anyways, so I try to make sure that my sound like is as best as it can be, that I'm trying to be a personable person, that I'm, you know, of good intent and all of that kind of good stuff, you know? And, so I hope that when people come to the channel that they do have a good time, you know, that they walk away from it edified in some kind of way, whether that's because they were entertained or because they were educated or because they, you know, just had a good time, you know. That's all I want. That's all I want. The only thing I ever expect of anybody is that you are the best you can be in this moment in time. And that doesn't always mean being the best you can be all the time. That just means the best you can be in this moment. Sometimes that's nothing more than getting out of bed in the morning and getting a bite to eat and going back to bed. Sometimes that's all the best you can be, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think that enough people hear that, you know? I don't think enough people hear that. So I'm just not sure what to do. You know, I'd like to grow the channel on Twitch so that I don't have to worry about the YouTube live streaming anymore. That's ultimately what I want to do. But I'm not sure how to get it there, you know? I really am. I'm an older guy, you know, I'm an older guy and I don't know what I'm doing. All this technology, I don't know what I'm doing, man. But, It is, yeah. I do try to stay grounded as much as I can, and much to my wife's chagrin, it doesn't always work that way, you know, because again, I'm pretty OCD with stuff. So, like I said, ultimately, that's what I want to do, is to make it so that I don't have to worry about the YouTube as far as the live streaming stuff is concerned. I want to do it with the recorded stuff. You know, like for instance, a game that I won't do on Twitch is This Land Is My Land. I love that game. I love playing it. But like, if I look to see who's playing on This Land Is My Land on Twitch, there's like maybe one person that's viewing, you know? So it's like, it's one of those things where if I want to grow my channel, I'm not going to be able to stream there and actually be able to find anybody that's going to listen. You know what I mean? Or to come to watch. So, but on YouTube, anytime that I publish one of those stories of This Land Is My Land, I get a lot of views, you see? So it's like, I don't want to live stream it because then that would be detrimental to the channel. But if I do it through the recorded, I can't do that through Twitch. You see what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's like a spinning circle that I don't know what to do, you know? In either case, I want both channels to be able to flourish and grow and not diminish. But that's what I'm seeing happening with YouTube right now, is that it's diminishing. Like I said, I've lost 90 subs in the past 2 weeks. You know, that's a lot for somebody that's worked as hard as I have for years to get every single one that I possibly can. You know, I don't have that many. So yeah, I just don't know what to do. Don't know what to do, don't know where to go, don't know who to talk to or whatever the case may be to be able to get things like how I want them to be, you know? It's kind of funny because one of my kiddos does streaming too here on Twitch. And that's Ollie for those of you guys not aware. Ollie started far after I did, and they got affiliate status within like 2 weeks of starting. 2 weeks. So here I've been streaming on Twitch for a long while. I was doing it on a different channel before this one. The other channel, I think I've got like 9 followers. If that. So shrug. I don't know. It's like, it's kind of one of those things where I don't want to be jealous of them, right? But at the same time, I'm like, teach me your ways, O wise one, because I want to get there myself, you know? Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to give it up or anything like that. It's just, I'm trying to figure out like whether it's a matter of like, okay, so for instance, for those of you guys not aware, I'll give you a little bit of educational content here. How's that? The algorithms on YouTube are far different than doing things on Twitch. So with Twitch, it's just a matter of, you know, the category that you tap into, the tags that you do, like, are more for you to be able to like break down who you are, not like people are going to be searching specifically for that kind of a thing, but it helps to like just break it down a little bit further. And then the amount of viewers that you have, like that's seems to be like it and all as far as being able to get discovered on Twitch. Whereas with YouTube, you have to come up with the title. You have to come up with an SEO based, you know, search engine optimized based description. Then have it in the correct playlist area, which is going to help out with the SEO, and have all of the right tags in all of the correct order. You know, not just putting the tags in, but you've got to put the tags in the correct order even in order for it to generate the algorithms looking at you, you know? And that's like, it's a pain in the ass. It really is. It is absolutely. Like every time that I post a video to YouTube, I've got to like spend almost a good half hour to 45 minutes just trying to figure out how I want to tag it so that it might get nodded at by the algorithm enough to allow somebody to come and or to at least give them the impression of the thumbnail, you see. Then I've got to come up with the exact thumbnail that's going to be tweaked in such a way that the user isn't going to skip over it when they have it served to them. All hail the algorithm overlords. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. And if you don't have your thumbnail exactly right, then people are just going to bypass you. You're not going to get their attention at all, right? So, and the problem is, and this is where I think one of my problems is coming in to play on YouTube. Because again, bear in mind that the 5,400 people that I've got subscribed there, by and large, were there because of the radio shows. Okay. So if I create a video and I publish it and I've got it tagged correctly and I've got it this, I've got it that, all the things, right? The first ones to get served the video are the people who have subscribed to you. And if they are shown the thumbnail to the video and they turn away from it, then that removes a percentage off of your click-through rate. And the click-through rate is what is the algorithm's god on YouTube. Like, if you have a really good click-through rate, it doesn't really matter what video you put up. It's probably going to get served to people. And it's probably going to get served to people that have never heard of you before, ever. Because YouTube thinks, oh, this is a video that must be very interesting. Everybody wants to see it. You know what I mean? So, if your subscribers don't click on that video, then it has a very detrimental effect on your click-through rate, right? Because it gave the impression to the person, they skipped it, so it must not be content that is interesting, quote unquote. But the problem with my particular channel is that the subscribers who are served that thumbnail and that video first aren't there for me playing Fallout 76. They were there because I was talking one day about are ghosts real, or what are fairies, and what are, this and that, because that was a topic that I hit on the radio show. You see what I mean? And so they hit the subscribe button because they were interested in that 2-hour radio show that I did. So, it's like, it's an issue because then that person who didn't watch the video because it wasn't interesting to them, because they never had an interest in that kind of a thing to begin with, then affects whether or not my video is ever going to be shown to anybody at all, ever again. So it's like I publish it, it kind of gets that gain for a short period of time, for the first 12 to 24 hours. And then after that, it tanks because the algorithm sees that the subscribers are getting shown the video, but are not actually watching it. You see? So it's like, it's vastly different on Twitch to get discovered and to get, actually people to come and look at your videos than it is on YouTube. YouTube is like a whole different other animal altogether, and it's much more of a pain in the butt, It's tough to find a balance between making the content you want and appeasing those requirements to have it seen. Yes, absolutely. 100%. It's like, I feel, and this, okay, you guys tell me, because you guys are obviously a little bit more experienced when it comes to Twitch stuff than I am. Okay, so I'm reaching out to you guys as someone who just doesn't know, and I'd like to have the education on this. Okay, so if you could help me out with this would be really great. It seems like on Twitch, you have like a little bit more freedom of the kind of content you want to do. Like, you don't have to appease certain algorithms. You just have to be appealing to the people as opposed to an algorithm, you know? Am I correct on thinking that? Because with YouTube, it's much different. They claim that it's about whatever the people are responding to, right? But I've seen how things work. It's a lot different than what they say, you know? I'm going to grab a drink here real quick. Okay, thank you. It's like on the upside, YouTube is more discoverable if you can figure out the keys to that particular door, you know? But the problem is that door changes its lock all the time. All the time. One of the things I've seen them doing of late is focusing more on like the shorts. So they're kind of like focusing more on what Snapchat or TikTok have done, you know, where it's very short form kind of videos. And if you do those on your channel, you tend to get like a lot more served, you know, for whatever reason. But okay, see, I have noticed over on the left-hand side of Twitch, like if I go there right now, I have seen that on the left side of Twitch, there is like the recommended channels. On the left side of, there we go. I can see like there's the recommended channels, but whether those actually are ever going to have me in them, I don't know. I don't know what to do to get there. You know what I mean? Like, how does one get into this stuff? Is it all based on whether or not you have like a lot of viewers? Because if I look at the recommendeds, I see people that are there that have like 7 viewers or 3 viewers or 30 viewers and that kind of thing. And I know like there are other categories that are out there that have like literally thousands of people watching them right now. You know, again, if I showed some cleavage, I'd probably have a good, 10 dozen more people come walking in, you know. I'm not going to do that, but you wouldn't want to see that anyways. My beard would cover it all up. So but it's like there's all these little magic things that are there. It's voodoo to me. You know, I don't know what to do to try to improve my discoverability on things without like I don't want to cheat. You know, and I know there are ways that you could cheat the systems, and I don't want to cheat. I don't want to be that way, you know? Okay, that's kind of along the lines of what I was thinking, yeah. I do assume that you're never going to see somebody that's not at least affiliate status being in there, are you? Like, you got to kind of get to that point before anything else happens. It's like, I know that like once I reach affiliate status, there's going to be a lot more doors that open up, you know, as far as things that I could do to help to like improve the engagements and improve the channel overall. But getting there's a royal pain in the butt. I don't know what to do. Except just be here and be me, you know. That's all I can do, which I'm going to continue doing. Again, I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to try to like cheapen things or anything like that. I want to be the best me that I can be, you know. Nick, hey, welcome. Hope that you're having a really good day. Welcome to the stream. How you doing out there? I'm just on here basically talking about random stuff. We're talking about, at the moment, YouTube and Twitch and some of the differences that are between the two of them. But we were happy to talk about anything and everything under the sun. That's what we're all about here. So, yeah, welcome. Welcome. Like I said, though, I don't think that, like...
Welcome back, friend. I knew this day would come.
Well, I'm currently processing oxygen and experiencing cellular death and rebirth, so I guess I'm doing okay. I've had a pain day today, unfortunately, but as I've been on here talking to people, it's helped to ease things up. So what are my thoughts about lucid dreaming? I think it's absolutely real. In fact, there are things that I've run across in my own research with things that are pretty interesting when it comes to lucid dreaming. I've had quite a few of them over the years. And one of the things that you can do to put yourself into a lucid dreaming state is to, throughout your day, every day, throughout your day, touch the side of every door that you pass through. So like, you know, if you're going to walk into the bathroom, for instance, just touch the doorway, you know, as you go walking past. If you go into a restaurant, if you go in and out of your house, if any doorway that you pass through, make sure that you touch it as you're going through it. If you have a dream then where you are walking through a doorway, if you've habituated yourself that every time you pass through a doorway, you touch the doorway, in the dream you're going to as well. And what will happen is it will help to snap you into a lucid dreaming state, because suddenly you realize, oh, hey, I'm actually dreaming. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a way to entrain your brain to force you into that kind of a state. Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize that about Stream Elements. I know that there are some things on Stream Labs that I can do that are similar, but I didn't know that Stream Elements has that kind of thing too. That's cool. I've been debating on whether or not to use some of the Stream Elements stuff. I am signed up to it, but I haven't like actually done much of anything with it yet. So. But anyways, as far as lucid dreaming goes, yes. Lucid dreaming is very cool if you can figure out how to queue it up and make use of it. It's a very cool way to do. What are your thoughts on it? I'm just curious about that, Nick. Do I play any instruments? I used to play physical instruments, trumpet, trombone, piano, a little small tad of guitar, not very much, but a little small tad. But when I make music at this point in time, I use computers to help me actually generate the music, which can be fun. So yeah, I do create my own music, but not through physical means. At least not anymore. It's not as easy for me to do it with that kind of a situation because of my eyesight. Definitely give it a shot. Like I said, if you try to like train your brain into a point where you can control when and when you don't go into the lucid dreaming, it can be very helpful, you know. In fact, if you guys want to hear a little bit of music that I've created, I can play a little song for you guys here while we're talking. If you're curious. This is one of them that I created. So, anyways, we'll just have it on here in the background a little bit. Oop, that's maybe a little bit loud. There we go. A little bit of smooth move. So anyways, I'm going to keep trying. You know, I'm definitely going to keep streaming. I've streamed for 5 hours today so far. That's quite a bit of streaming, you know, but I've been on here like every day streaming for anywhere between 2 and 8 hours, you know, every single day in and out. So I've got to enjoy it, you know. If to do it, I've got to have enjoyment factor to it, right? So, thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoy creating it too. You know, it's pretty fun to do. I go through different facets of creativity. You know, sometimes I feel in the mood to create some images. Sometimes I feel in the mood to create a little bit of music. Sometimes it's just getting on and doing streams, you know? So creating in one kind of way or another. A lot of times I just do writing. You know, I've done a lot of writing. I've got 14 books published, dozens of short stories published. If you guys ever want to check any of those things out, you can check them out on my website, originalworlds.com. I have all of my books and short stories listed there, and you guys can find a bunch of them for free. In fact, I've got a bunch of them for free if you guys ever want to read something interesting. I write science fiction, fantasy, and horror, and sometimes combinations of the three. So where do I have time? Well, I have time because I'm blind and I don't do anything else. So I have 24 hours of a day to do whatever I want, and I only sleep 3 to 5 hours a day. So, you know, plenty of time to do whatever I need. Maybe that's why I'm crazy. I am the strangest person I've ever met, and I try to prove it every day. So, yeah. But I'll still be here. I'll still be here kicking around doing the things that I do, and hopefully everybody enjoys the ride that I will take them on. You know, but bear in mind, I move myself constantly. You're always going to see me moving around, because if I stop moving my body in any one point in time or another, I'm going to hemorrhage and die. So I always have to move around at least somewhat, you know. But I'll try not to be annoying with it. Mostly it's because I do have the pain issues. So sometimes if I do a little bit of leg bouncing and that kind of thing, it helps to like distract away from the pain. So it kind of makes me look a little bit shaky and that kind of stuff. But I'm not actually like sitting here with Parkinson's or something shaking. It's just the way that my body is reacting to my leg shaking. So, and sometimes I get a little groove in my head and I got to bounce my legs. So, you know, all that kind of good stuff. I thank you guys for the information though regarding the Twitch stuff though. I appreciate the fact that you guys are more aware of things than I am and can help out with it. So I see too much instead of too little. My eyes are pyramid shaped instead of egg shaped, and I have a massive amount of scarring on my corneas. And between the two, it makes it so that everything is completely washed out. A straight line becomes 40 straight lines that are all superimposed over each other and moving in different directions. At the same time, every beat of my heart makes the entire world pulse in and out and in and out and in and out. So between it all, my vision is 20/3600 in my good eye, even with the glasses on. The glasses are just there to help out taking care of some of the blur, and they're more of a Fisher-Price toy than anything. They don't actually help with anything. I've just been wearing them since I was 7 years old, and it's more of a comfort item than anything for me. So between it all, it's not what you would term to be black blind or dim blind. It is too much information coming in. So between it all, the more light there is, the worse it is for me. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but it's what I've dealt with for going on just about 15 years now. So yeah. So every time that my blood pulses, my corneas are so thin that they're affected by every like change that goes on. So like when I blink, so like, okay, the normal human eye, when you blink, your cornea will squish down and then it'll pop back up into place when you open your eyes back up. And the time between it being squished and going back to normalcy is a split second. Like it is almost instantaneous. It can be measured, but it's almost instantaneous. You are not going to notice the difference between the two, right? But with me, because my corneas are as thin as they are, it is exacerbated greatly. When I blink, it takes almost a full second before the vision bounces back to being from that squished to normal. So if I blink rapidly, it's got no chance at all to actually bounce back into place. Also, the scars make it so that every everything. Like, okay, let's say for instance, you look at a telephone pole, okay, and you can see it as being straight up and down telephone pole, right? Each of the scars that's on my cornea actually makes that telephone pole into a different version of itself. So it splinters it into multiple pieces that my brain has to try to interpret. And it's impossible for it to do it. You have too much. It's almost like looking through the eyes of an insect, like a fly has all of those multiple eyes and everything like that. Well, imagine that it's that for me, because that's pretty much what it is. But at the same time, each of those, instead of it being like, exacting rows, like you would see in a fly's eyes, they're all, in a row and all, doing their thing correctly. All of mine are like jumbled up, superimposed over each other and washing around each other and everything like that. And between it all, it's like, how are you supposed to interpret this data coming in? You just can't. So the further away something is from me, the more I won't be able to see it at all. Anything that's past about 3 inches in front of my face, I'm blind to, unless I squint super hard. And so that's what I do to read the chat. I've actually got my phone right here on a gooseneck arm that's like right in front of where my microphone is. And so I can squint to be able to read. Like I see movement excessively well. Like I can probably actually see movement better than you guys can, because there's so many versions of it going on at the same time that, like, if something was to move, I just saw that same thing move like 40 different times and in 40 different angles. You see what I mean? So it's like between everything, movement is very hyper aware for me. So when the chat room changes, like the chat bounces or something like that, my eyes instantly recognize something's there. So I can look over and I can squint and I can try to read what's there. So actually there are, if you give me just a brief moment, I can show you. There is something that an artist did a while back that, he's got the same disorder. It's a genetic defect, basically. He's got the same disorder, and he kind of came up with a way to see, like, this is how the moon looks to us that have this disorder. So you can kind of get an idea. This singular moon that's there in the center is also all of these moons too. You see what I mean? I can also try to find another one here. Give me just a brief moment, guys. Sorry. I got to do things in a little bit of a weird way here. This is what going through traffic is like for me. You can see like all of the starburst patterns that happen with every single light, every individual, piece of light and all that kind of stuff that's around. It's like that for me. So every single pinpoint of light that is around causes this effect to happen. And when you have dozens of small, like for example, if you look around at your desk right now, you'll probably notice that there are reflections coming off of things from your lights and your monitor and all that kind of stuff, right? So every single one of those becomes that for me. You see what I mean? So like the more pinpoints of light that there are, the more that kind of thing happens. So that's why I kind of live like a mushroom. I try to cut down lights as much as I possibly can so that it doesn't cause that much of an impact on me. So yeah, it's fun, right? Quote unquote fun. There are times though where, like, I try to find the humor in it, right? Just as an example. So, for instance, my wife has very, very long hair. She's one of those unique, people that has super long hair. I must be a fun guy. Exactly. And I'm hella entertaining, right? Yeah, something like that. I'll show you a picture of my wife here, my dear wifeling, whom I love and adore with the fury 1,000 suns could never match. In fact, it'll be a piece of artwork that I did of her. Give me 1 second. She was my model for a long time back when I did photography. So find one that shows her hair really nicely. Give me just a brief moment, guys. Sorry. This is the one and only time I've ever been able to get her to wear a dress. But you can see, like, her hair's really long. This is the front of her hair, and the back of her hair goes down, like, past her butt. So, you know, she's got that super, super long hair, right? What we do, like, if we go to a place that we're not, like, I'm not familiar with, like, okay, so around the house, I don't have to use my vision cane, because I'm familiar with where things are, right? I've got muscle memory for where everything is sitting and where, you know, this is and that is and all that kind of stuff, right? So unless somebody gets vengeful and moves it around on me, I'm going to be able to tell what's there. And that does happen where people get vengeful in our household and move crap around so that Ira will try to kill himself with it. But that's a different story altogether. But if we're in a place where I'm unfamiliar, I have her walk in front of me, like usually a couple feet in front of me, because I can see the outline of her, and I can recognize that, like, because of her hair being as long as it is, she looks a little bit distinct compared to what other people do, right? So, like, not only do I love the fact that she has long hair, because, oh God, I love long hair, but it's advantageous too, because so few women nowadays have hair that's that long, right? They're usually a little bit shorter. So we went to the grocery store one night, and she had to walk down the aisle from me, leaving me at the cart so that she could get something from the frozen food section. And I decided, okay, I want to try to find something too. So I walked away from the cart, went to grab something, and I came back to the cart, and she was standing next to me. So I put my arms around her, and I'm all like, you know, hey, baby, I love you. And I felt this stiffening in my arms, like, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So I look over and I squint really hard, and I see, oh crap, that is not my wife. It's a woman that has long hair, but that's not my wife, and this is not my cart. My wife's down the aisle rolling, laughing, trying to, like, shout out, he's blind. It's not his fault. He's blind. He thought you were me. And I'm like, oh God, lady, I'm so sorry. I thought you were my wife. She walks away, you know, and I'm like, I'm glad I did not follow my first instinct, which is to walk up and slap her in the ass. I mean, I'm glad that I did not do that instinct, right? Because that could have turned out real bad real quick. Yeah. This vision issue can be very fun, I tell you. There was another time we went to GameStop, and I've got kiddos, you know, so we went to GameStop to let the kids find a game to play. And so while we were there at GameStop, I don't know if you guys have ever been there or not, but they have like this wall where they just cover it with video game, you know, the covers, the cases for it, and that kind of stuff. So this was a while back, bear in mind. But when we were walking around looking at these games, I saw that there was this particular video game. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of these, but there's like the games called Dogs and Cats that have like the Z at the end of it, right? So I want to try to find something here real quick. If I can get it to type. There we go. Wrong button. Give me a second here. Let's see if that'll work. Shoot. It's not. There we go. Okay. So there you go. As you can see, there's this one in particular called horses, right? So not dogs, not cats, horses. All right. So as we're going through the store, I see this, not for the two, but it was for this first one right here. The horse says, right? The second one that's over from the top. All right. So anyways, I'm looking around at this and I'm like, I turned to my wife and I said, what are they trying to sell to people these days? She goes, what? And I said, look at this. She goes, what? And I said, what the hell kind of game are they trying to sell to kids? She's like, what? And I said, hot sex, and it's got a picture of a horse on it. What? The hot sex with horses? What the hell kind of game are they creating here? And she's like, no, it says horses. Oh, well, I could swear it says hot sex. Like that's what it says to me, right? That's what my eyes see. And I'm just seeing a picture of a horse on it. What the heck? So yeah. Nope. Not a fever dream. And it wasn't about hot sex either, I hope. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a game that's like that, but I don't think GameStop's going to have it, and I don't think they're going to have it on their wall, of games for sale either. But that's how my eyes work. Like, I try to find like the laughable moments every day with it. It does make things interesting while at the same time being a bit of a challenge, and I try really hard not to let it get me down, but there are times where I'll wake up and I'll just be like, why the hell do I have this? Why am I going through this? I'm at the stage with mine. Like there are things that could be done to help with this genetic defect that I have. One of them is called RGP lenses, which is basically like it's a hard contact lens that can go on the cornea and try to give it that structure that it needs to maintain some kind of vision acuity. But when I tried to use those, it literally murdered my eyes. Like my eyes are hypersensitive to anything even coming near them, let alone touching them. And so having the lens there on my eyeball was murder. I mean, my eyes could not stop streaming. I was crying constantly. It was so painful, so horrifically painful. So they tried a different thing, which was to put the hard contact lens on top of a soft contact lens. Well, my eyes are so protruding that the soft contact lens had nothing to adhere to, so they would just fall off as soon as I blinked. In fact, I don't know. Maybe you guys will be able to see if I move the microphone a little bit here. Maybe you guys will be able to actually see the protrudence a little bit with the webcam. I'll try to see if you guys can see it. I don't know if you will be able to or not. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyways, if you're close enough to me, and especially if I have my glasses off, I know my glasses give a little bit of a glare, but especially if I have my glasses off, you'd be able to see like my eyes are like, so like if this was the egg, of your eye, the protrudence is like coming like this, off of the eyeball basically. So it's like a pyramid sitting on top of the eye. But anyways, yeah, it's weird. So then the next thing that I tried to have done is something called cross-linking. And this is where they will open up your cornea. They will insert rods into your cornea above your irises to try to give it some kind of, again, structure to maintain its shape in a normal shape, right? Nope. My corneas are too thin to allow that kind of a thing to happen. So by the time that I discovered that I had the disorder, and that it had progressed into the zone that it did. By then it was too late to actually have that kind of a surgery done. So the only option left to me is to have a corneal transplant done, on both eyes. And the issue with that is that if I was to have it done, and this is according to the one guy who is like world renowned for this disorder, right? This is what he told me. It would improve your vision by about 10%. Okay. You're not giving me much hope here, because 10% over what I've got right now is still shit. Pardon my French, but it's still nothing, right? That's still horrible. And then the risks come into play. So the risks are that it would flat out fail altogether and I'd go completely black blind. Or I would have to take anti-rejection drugs for the rest of my life so that my body did not reject the corneas from this dead person who would donate. Okay. I'd have to use steroid eye drops every day, multiple times a day. My eyes don't like having drops put in them, by the way. It completely freaks out. But also because of those steroid drops to keep swelling down, I would have to have cataract surgery every year. This isn't sounding much better here, guy. You're not giving me much to hold on to here, dude. It's like between everything, the risk versus reward is just not worth it for me. You know, like I've dealt with this condition. I mean, it's a genetic defect. I've had it my whole life, right? But it didn't start really kicking in seriously until I was about 38 years old. I count myself lucky because for most people that have this disorder, during the teen years, it will kick in and it will start to progress, and then it'll kind of like reach an end point and stop progressing. And then once you get to about your early 30s or a little bit younger, like late 20s, early 30s, the next stage of it kicks in and you'll progress to the end stage, right? For me, it didn't fully kick in until I was about 38 years old, but it only took about 6 months worth of time for me to go from being able to drive, to do things normal and, you know, all that kind of stuff, to having what I've got at this point in time, which is the end stage of this disorder. Thankfully, with this particular disorder, I should not progress worse from what I currently have. Unless something drastic happens, I shouldn't progress any worse from here. I will still get new scars. Now that's one thing. I will still continue to get new scars. But as far as like the thinning of the cornea and the protrudence goes, it shouldn't get any worse than where it stands right now. So I should not go completely black blind with it. Okay. At least there's a positive, right? So I'm grateful for that, right? But at this stage of my life, I've dealt with this for like, again, you know, going on 12 to 15 years, you know. I'd rather deal with the devil that I know, because at least I can function, you know, like I've gotten myself trained to the point where I can function. If I'm here at home, sitting in front of my computer, I can at least do things to be able to communicate with people. I can still play games, some games, not all games, but I can still play some, right? I can still get on here and do a little bit of artwork here and there, still get on here and play, you know, create different music and stuff. But if I was to do the surgery, I would risk losing all of that, you know? And it's just, I'll just stick with the devil I know. If I go away from where I am right now, like if I go outside of the home, I have to have help. You know, I'll tell you honestly, like, you know, and again, like this is not, I'm not trying to sob story or anything like that, guys. I'm just trying to, you know, tell you this is how people have to live sometimes, you know. My wife, in December, had to have a major heart operation. She was born with a heart defect that half of her heart basically is missing. So she had to have a surgery in December, and we almost lost her a few times. She went through a lot to get through it. So, because of COVID, because of the surgery, because of all the stuff, I did not feel safe, like having her go into grocery stores and that kind of thing. Right. So, we have a local Walmart. Everybody's got a local Walmart. We've got a local Walmart. And I had to go to the store to get something, right? Me, blind, trying to walk around with a cane, trying to figure out, not only making sure that I don't face plant into a wall or murder somebody because I rammed into them the wrong way. I'm trying to find this one specific item and I have no clue where it's at. And I kept going around and around and around and around. I asked a couple of people for help. Nobody wanted to help me. You know, I get it. I'm a guy, but you would think like me carrying around like the blind cane may like reassure people that if I'm asking them, hey, can you help me find an item? I'm not just trying to be some creepy guy trying to kidnap you or something. Right. I hope that the world has not gotten that jaded, but that's kind of like how I get treated if I try to ask somebody, for some help. After 20 minutes worth of me just spinning around in circles, literally trying to find this item, I finally broke down. I'm like breaking down crying in the middle of Walmart, which sucks. Not only because of the embarrassment factor with it, right? Because that's embarrassing, I mean, let's all face it. That's something really embarrassing to have happen to you. But at the same time, I don't like to cry, not because I don't want to feel it, right? Because I have no problem crying. I'm secure in my feelings. There's nothing wrong with a guy crying. More guys need to cry. Come on. But if I cry, the salt from my tears gets into these holes in my corneas and it causes such intense pain that it makes things so bad. So bad. Oh God, it sucks. So, I try my best not to cry, so yeah, the cons with the surgery are definitely a lot worse. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if I get it, I'm a man, mostly, I'm a man. And so I get that, like, there's an inherent distrust factor there for a lot of people, just based upon the fact that I'm a guy. Right. But again, you'd think that me carrying around this cane and like, practically in tears already trying to find something, just saying, can you please show me where X item is, I'm not trying to kidnap you, lady, so from that point forward, like I made the unilateral decision that I'm no longer going to shop alone because I don't want to ever go through that again. So if I have to go shopping and my wife Jolene can't go in with me or something for whatever reason, I'm taking one of the kids along. Like, I'm not doing it alone. I can't, I can't put myself through that anymore. But that was a big wake up call for me because that's the first time that anything really like that happened to me, because that's the first time that I had to do it because my wife was always with me. Like, I can't drive. So if I go anywhere, she's driving, so, and she's going to go in with me, but we couldn't have her do it because the COVID stuff and because she had the surgery, she just couldn't do it. She was down for the count, so, yeah, it's, and so again, I'm not saying all this to like lament or anything like that. I'm just saying, this is stuff that people have to deal with, and it's like, it's wild, it's crazy, but I try not to let it get me down. There are times where it does, but I do try my best to not have to, deal with it. So the unfriendly neighborhood market. Yeah, it really is. Like, there was one time I had to go to CVS, just as an example. I went to CVS and I had to go in alone. And like there was a lady who like instantly was like, do you need any help? Like she wasn't even an employee there. She was just, you know, somebody that was a customer, and they saw that I had the cane, and I was just like, I was standing in front of the vitamins because my wife needed something for her health, and I couldn't figure out where it was, you know? So I'm like, yeah, if you don't mind, I could really use some help, you know, like, can you point this out, you know? So she helped me out, and she helped me find the other couple of things that I needed. And I was out of there within just a few minutes, thankfully, you know, but it's like, that's a vast difference between, you know, dealing with that and dealing with Walmart. I'll tell you, you know, walking through Walmart, this is kind of crazy because I'll walk through Walmart with that cane, right? With my, you know, the standard blind guy cane, right? I'll walk through Walmart, and as I'm walking, like I'm usually like as close to the edge as I can be, because I run with the, like if the edge of the shelves is right here, I'll run with the cane, like going along the edge of the shelf, so I can tell when I'm too close, you know, like if I'm getting too close to the edge, so I don't ram into the shelf. You know what I mean? Because I've done that. My shoulders have gone into the edge of the shelf before, and that's not a good feeling. Anyways, as I'm walking through Walmart with this cane, you know, like there will be people coming down the aisle the other direction, like straight at me, expecting me to see them and move aside. I'm blind, dude. I can't see ya. I don't know you. I can't tell if that's you or if that's a superimposed you. I see 40 different versions of you. Which one are you? You know, I'm over here on the other side of the aisle. What the hell are you doing walking straight into me? I've been rammed so many times. It's crazy. You know, it's like, dude, are you dumb? You know, like, are you blind too? Do you need a cane as well, sir? But it's like rude as hell, you know, like I'm obviously disabled here. You know, I've got an issue. You would think that people would like at least be self-aware enough to say, well, maybe I shouldn't be running straight into this guy. Maybe, I don't know. Hey, Ellie. Yeah, it does. It makes a very good social distancing stick. The thing is like 5 feet long. So I'm all like, you know, back, you uglies, you know? So right. People tend not to look where they're going, or if they are looking, it's like they're just dead inside enough that they pay zero attention. Like it really makes me wonder, like, you know, over the years, I've thought weird thoughts, right? I do. I think weird thoughts. I'm a writer. It's what I do. Okay. So one of the thoughts that I've had over the years is like, are we dealing with a situation where only certain amounts of the population actually have a soul inside and the rest are just like AI controlled NPCs that are just doing whatever it is that they're programmed to do and they cannot do anything else differently? These experiences at Walmart really tell me that may be the case. It doesn't do anything to prove it otherwise. I'll tell you that right now. Crap, I am out of tea. I have run myself out of tea, dagnabbit. Anyways, so you know, it's like those kind of things happen, and it's like you get that dichotomy between, okay, this is what happened to me at Walmart, this is what happened to me at CVS. Does that mean that the people that are shopping at Walmart are tending to be like that more negative aspect of things? The people shopping at CVS are the more positive aspect of things? I don't know. It might just be that, like, in general, people that are at Walmart are just like trying to just get through life and not paying any attention to anything else around them, you know. Not to bash Walmart shoppers, because we have to shop at Walmart, right? I'm not bashing Walmart shoppers, but I know that like a lot of people that do have to shop at Walmart may be like a little bit on the more stress-filled lives side, you know, and stress can do a lot to a person to actually make it so that they cannot pay full attention to things. Research has shown that people that are under extreme stress for a long period of time, actually their brains shrink, like literally their brains shrink as a protective measure. So, I know that I went through that with my stress back when I was doing the radio days, the stress that I had from that was so bad that I ended up with stress-induced diabetes. Stress can do a lot to a person, you know? So it may be that people that are wandering around and they're just, you know, barely paying attention to life because they're just trying to survive in that moment in time, you know? Mine's not too far away, me, so mine's not too far. But it's weird, right? But it does it as a protective measure. Like it'll the water that is causing it to like be as expanded as it is will shrink down so that it like as a survival measure. Because when you're under stress, you're physically, like, again, bear in mind, physically your body knows no difference than like you running around as your ancestor on the Serengeti trying to get away from the lion, right? Like, physically speaking, there's no difference between you being stressed and them being stressed. It's the exact same emotions, exact same chemistry going through the bodies. So it's a protective measure in case you fell, you tripped, you're running, you fell, you ran into a tree, whatever the case may be. You don't want to get your brain damaged by, you know, your brain being expanded during that stressful point in time. So it will actually shrink down. The water will sort of reduce in the brain so that your brain is not as close to the edges of your skull as it is normally when you're not under a stressful situation. So, but the problem is that also becomes an issue where your synapses and your neurons are not firing as efficiently as they normally would be when you're not under stress. So under stress, you're not thinking quite as straight, and you're physically more tense, more aggressive, more angry, more fight or flight. You know what I mean? You're more closer to that base fight or flight level. So than you are when you're stressed, or when you're not stressed. When you're not stressed, you're thinking straight. You know, all of your brain's firing on all of its cylinders, so to speak. So it's just one of them weird things. I'm going to be right back. I'm still going to be on, but I'm going to be right back. I need to refill my tea jug here real quick so that I can get a little bit of hydration. I'm getting a little bit dry. A little bit dry here, guys. So I'll be right back. Be patient with me, okay? Thank you. Talk amongst yourselves. It's okay. Ollie, if you could lead everybody in the anti-death chant, that would be really good. Anti-death, no stress chant. How about that one?
Ollie. Ollie. Are you being naughty, Ollie? You better not be being naughty, Ollie. HR is listening. They are always watching.
Okay, guys, I'm back. Anyway, thank you for being patient with me. I appreciate it. I'd have a chance to use my little voice thing. I haven't used it like ever. I'm kind of scared to use it because like I've got it. Like I purchased it. It's really nice. It's really cool. I want to make use of it even more. But like for some reason it keeps like having reverb issues and I'm not sure why. I made you drop your pen. I'm sorry, kiddo. I owe you a pen, huh? No, HR owes you the pen. Great way to trigger your PTSDs. I'll have to remember that. Anyway, I'm back, folks. I drink like a gallon of tea by myself. How much do you guys drink? Like, what do you guys like to drink? I used to drink nothing but Mountain Dew, like nothing but Mountain Dew. I drink a case a day by myself, and my body, by the way, feels it. Not a good idea. Don't drink a case a day of Mountain Dew by yourself. My teeth were destroyed because of it, man. It sucked. Like it sucked. If you need to, you can bum my pen. My pen is nice. Anyway, so just out of curiosity, what is it that you guys like to drink? Tea is kind of my go-to these days because I had to get away from the Mountain Dew. I had to get away from like sugar because again, that stress-induced diabetes, I had to kind of come under control with it. So I just went with tea. So at this point I drink, it's kind of a mix between English breakfast and lemonade, like a sugar-free lemonade. And I use stevia to sweeten it up a little bit. And it's helped out a lot. You know, I enjoy it. I don't like coffee. I don't pull out the torches. Sally, put the pitchfork away. I know you love coffee, girl. Okay. But no, you cannot come at me with the pitchfork right now. Okay. I told you, we got to have a talk about this. Okay, Sally. I don't like coffee. The only way I like it is if it's really cold and, I like it with a lot of cream and that kind of thing, but, I'm just not into it otherwise. I never have been. It might be because like, okay, it's weird because sometimes when we, you only like black coffee. Sometimes when we go through life, you know, we go through the traumas and all that kind of stuff. So, both my dad and my mom were major coffee drinkers. Like they would drink coffee all the time. However, that being said, my dad was also a whiskey drunk and my mom was very neglectful. My second wife was also a big coffee drinker and she was very abusive. So I have a feeling that one of the main reasons why I don't care for coffee, at least hot coffee, is because like there's that subtle PTSD effect that's going on where it's too reminiscent of the people that should have been more good to me not being. So I think that's probably by and large a part of the reason why, because I do like it cold. Like I like the taste of it, don't get me wrong, but it's like I only like it if it's cold. Ollie, were you able to find the pen? I'm so sorry, kiddo, if I made you lose it entirely. Maybe one of the brownies grabbed it. You know, I swear I swear, we have the Fae here in this house. I swear. Because every time I drop something, it immediately disappears. Immediately disappears. Matcha, I have had it once, and I did like it, but I've never had it since. But every time that I drop something, it immediately just pops out of existence. So I think that the brownies borrow it. Yeah, they like to mess with the blind guy, probably. Yeah, I'm sure. They scramble around. I see him out of the corner of my eyes. I've got good peripheral vision. They may not realize it, but I can see him out of the corner of my eyes. So, yeah, but I used to drink nothing but Mountain Dew, and it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this. Tell me your story about this kind of thing too. I'd love to hear it. Where you have like this almost aversion therapy kind of a thing going on with something, because like I used to drink just absolute crap tons of Mountain Dew, right? And I couldn't get myself away from it. Well, I finally did. And then like I found myself once in a while ordering it if we go to a restaurant and they have it on the menu or something like that, you know, just because I want to remind myself of what it tasted like, right? And every time that I do, I don't understand how I ever enjoyed the taste of it to begin with. I'm like, what was wrong with you, Ira? How did you ever like this stuff? This stuff is nasty. How could you ever have enjoyed it? You know? So it's like, I kind of wonder if Mountain Dew took a cue from Coca-Cola and put a little bit of crack or something in the Mountain Dew to get people addicted to it as much as people do. You know, there's some places in the country where like they're practically raised on Mountain Dew, especially like in West Virginia and stuff. It's like the kids are practically raised on Mountain Dew and don't drink anything else ever. And they actually have problems there called Mountain Dew mouth, where it's like it destroys the teeth so much. And I know that from experience, man. My teeth, they went through hell. Like I suffered greatly with my teeth with the after effects of drinking Mountain Dew for as long as I did. It sucked. Gamer juice, yeah. Mountain Dew has like gotten a big hold in the gaming industry for sure. You know, it's like so many people drink all of these different Mountain Dew based drinks, and I'm just like, guys, no, don't do that. Don't do it to yourselves. No. Don't do it. Run from the dew. Don't do the dew. Suddenly I'm banned from Twitch or something. I don't know. But anyways. Yeah, it's one of them weird things, you know. It's like I did the same with cigarettes. So I'll tell you, like I do vape. You guys will see me vape here and there, and I don't apologize for it. I vape for a reason. So my wife again was born with these heart issues, right? And for the first time that we were together, I did smoke. Like I smoked for 30 years. I was a very heavy smoker. I smoked 2 packs a day plus. And 8 years ago, actually I just had my anniversary of it a couple of weeks ago. 8 years ago, as a birthday gift for my wife, I quit smoking. But I knew that from the times that I had tried quitting before, I would have a very difficult time quitting because I have a very addictive personality. I mean, I do. As evidenced by the fact that I'm on the air for 6 hours in one day. Over and over and over again. Anyways, doesn't have anything to do with that at all. No. So I have this addictive personality, and I know probably part of it is because I'm native. You know, I've got indigenous blood. I'm Miyamiyaki. And so I know that our people have a proclivity towards certain addictions. One of them being alcohol, another one being tobacco. I didn't get into alcohol because, again, my dad was a whiskey drunk, right? So a lot of times when you have like a parental unit that is that way, you're going to go either one direction or another. You're either going to become one yourself, or you're going to go as far away from it as you possibly can. There's not usually any in between. And for me, I went the opposite direction. I can't stomach alcohol. I think I could count on one hand the amount of drinks that I've had in the past like 10 years total, you know? quit smoking many moons ago, but recently got under some stress and started smoking again. Feels bad, man. Okay, yeah. Have you ever tried vaping, just out of curiosity? Because I know a lot of people that are like me that have smoked and then started doing the vaping thing and have been able to like switch it around. So that's what I was going to get to, is that 8 years ago, for a birthday present for her, I had to quit smoking, and I knew I wouldn't be able to do it on my own, so I figured, okay, I'm going to try out vaping and see if it will help me to get past it. And within 24 hours of doing my first vape, I didn't do cigarettes again. And in this 8 years, one time I had a cigarette to see like what it would be like. And it was about a year after I had dropped them. Right. So I had found, I found an old pack of cigarettes that I had, and I probably still have it around somewhere. But I found this old pack of cigarettes, and I decided to step outside the house and light it up and see what happens. 2 puffs later, I'm gagging. I'm practically puking, stomping it out, going in, taking a shower, 2 to 3 showers, brushed my teeth multiple times. Still couldn't get the stench off of me. And I'm like, oh God, no, this is terrible. So, I vape now. The flavor that I do, like the primary one that I do all day long, is actually a tobacco based one, because I do still enjoy the flavor of like a cigarette kind of a thing, you know, but not all the other stuff that goes with it, you know? So, and the other one that I do is, it's like a strawberries and cream one that I make, and I make both of I make my own juices. So I found that it has saved me a lot of money. Like I calculated it up not too long ago. In the 8 years that I've not smoked, I've probably saved, what was it, Ollie? It was like $24,000 or something like that, over what I would have spent if I was smoking cigarettes. You know, it's like, it's crazy when you break it down to how much does this cost me per year, you know? But I'm just curious if you've ever tried vaping. Not that I'm advocating or anything like that. I'm not trying to, like, you know, proselytize as far as vaping goes, but I do know that it's helped out a lot of people get off of cigarettes. So, including me. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's safe, right? Like a lot of people, when I talk about this kind of a subject, they're all like, well, it's not safe. It's not blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, no, I will be the first to say that it's not safe. It's not as safe as doing nothing, but it's sure a hell of a lot safer than doing cigarettes. You know what I mean? So, right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's like the way that I do it, you know, because I make my own juices and because I do up my own coils and stuff like that, it costs me like maybe $5 a month to do vaping at this point in time. And I vape a lot. Like I'll go through like one of these little 60 milliliter bottles worth of fluid in 3 or 4 days. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't take me very long to drain it out. But I also do like these big cloud chasing puffs. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of juices being used up. As you can see, there's a lot of vape. You know what I mean? So for me though, it's like, it's better overall. And the advantage is that, again, the main reason why I did it was for my wife, right? Who was, if I smoked around her, even if I smoked like outside and came back in, just the fact that it was on my body as much as it would actually cause her chest to hurt. So when I switched over to vaping, we did a lot of testing with it to make sure that she would still be able to handle like being around me if I did vape. I can blow it right in her face and it won't bug her in any way, shape, or form. Like it literally has no effect on her at all. We've checked her oxygen levels. We've checked her blood pressure, her heart rate, all of the things. No impact in any way, shape, or form. And she likes it better because she gets to smell like all kinds of desserts all the time. Like I always smell like pancakes, you know, like because of the vape flavor that I use, primarily it makes like the smell is very reminiscent of like breakfast pancakes, you know? So, It's kind of funny if we go somewhere, like we went to, again, CVS one time, and we were at the drive-thru for it, and the lady, you know, we had gone through enough times that the lady had gotten to know us a little bit, and she finally leaned over and she's like, your car always smells so delicious. Oh my gosh, I don't know what you're doing, but you got to keep it. Like, it smells so good every time you come here. You always make me hungry for pancakes. Yeah. So anyway, that's why I switched though. And it's like, I don't proselytize with it, you know, like I'm not saying everybody should go out and do it. Right. But it's not for everybody. I know that, because some people just can't handle it. You know, some people just can't handle the vape, but they can handle cigarettes. You know, it's just the way that it is. Everybody's a little bit different, you know? So yeah. Anyway. Slightly ahead or slightly behind. Okay. Well, let's see. I think it popped up that I dropped a couple of frames here and there, but it shouldn't be too bad. I don't think it's too far off, is it? Just questioning. I don't know how far you guys are away from what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, if you're answering it there, then it's not too bad then. I know on YouTube, like YouTube itself tends to be lagged by like a good 30 to 40 seconds. Sometimes even longer sometimes. I've seen it go upwards of like 2 to 3 minutes at some points. But for the most part, I think Twitch is pretty close. I think it's maybe about 10 seconds or so behind what I'm saying. Ah, delicious tea. Yummy hydration. Is everybody out there hydrating today? That'd be the important thing today. I can give you that little bit of a dad moment, you know. Have you had something to drink? If you haven't, make sure you get a little bit of something. And if you haven't had anything to eat, at least go grab a bite of peanut butter if you're not allergic to it or something like that. You know, just grab a little bit of something that your body can use and function with. You got a smoothie. What kind of smoothie? That sounds very smooth. Ha 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 ha. I'm ridiculous. My sound, my music is not working correctly, I think. It's kind of funky. It's not really coming through as well as it should. I'm not sure why. Yeah, like kind of keeps halting and starting back up again. That's weird. Pineapple and banana. That sounds like a combo that shouldn't work together, but it actually does. It's pretty tasty. Well, listen, guys, I am getting pretty tired. It's getting to be about 5:30 here, and I've been on for about 7 hours today. My goodness, that's like a full-time job, man, I tell you. But I want to say how deeply I appreciate every one of you being here. You hear? You understand how deeply I appreciate every one of you being here. And I hope that no matter what, your lives are going as spectacularly as you can make them go. You know, like I want you guys to be the best you can be in this moment in time. That's all anybody can ever expect of you. That's all anybody could ever want from you.
Be the best you can be right now. The voice of God says so. Or something like that.
What about a robot? Would you listen to the robot? Be the best you can be in this moment in time. And don't let anybody ever tell you you're not worthy of being loved. I hope you hear me. I hope you understand.
I'm doing this with dramatic effect so that you'll hear it and understand it. Indeed.
So, with that being said, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you for being you. If you guys are over on Twitch and you're watching me, make sure you guys hit that follow button. I would deeply appreciate it. I'm trying to get affiliate. I'm just being an open book, trying to get to affiliate status so I can make some of that Twitch money. That would be nice. If you're over on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I'm tired of losing subscribers over on YouTube, and I don't know what to do about it. 90 subscribers I've lost in the past 2 weeks. It's a little frustrating. I don't know what to do about that situation, but that's a story for a whole different topic and all that kind of good stuff. But anyways, until next time, keep safe out there. Have fun. Thank you so much as always for watching, and we'll talk to you again later.
Incoming customer detected.
Keep your eyes open, boys.
We need to have a serious talk.